is life's little luxuries in a car that make motoring that much more pleasurable. And until recently, such pleasures were really for the privileged few who could afford cars from premium brands. But that is changing because more and more manufacturers are offering upmarket models. And that includes, wait for it, Hyundai. Think about it, 5, 6, 7 years ago, well, they were a joke. Then they brought out their coupe and people started taking them that bit much more seriously. Now this, the XG30, is their take on a luxury executive car. Obviously, as we all know, executives need lots of toys to keep them occupied. And this thing has got everything. They went mad on the spec list. So we've got 4 electric windows, electric mirrors, electrically heated and operated seats, climate-controlled air conditioning. We've got cruise control, traction control. On the sophisticated stereo, it'll even record mini discs for you. Don't know why. As for the drive, well, there's a 3-litre V6 up front. It's not the most sophisticated V6 on the market, but it is creamy smooth in delivering the power, and it sounds all right too. Between the engine and the front wheels, there is a pretty sophisticated automatic gearbox that actually boasts, I can't believe this, a Tiptronic style override so you can manually shift up and down the box. Apparently developed in conjunction with Porsche, so it better be good. And incredibly, you get all of this for, wait for it, £20,999, which ain't bad. All of which sounds very good. Almost too good to be true, in fact. So I'm going to lob a bit of a spanner in the works. Yes, this is a lot of car for under 21 grand. But if a lot of car is what you're after, then for 15 grand, you could have an immaculate second-hand Mercedes E230. Just breathe it in. Pure class. So the Mercedes doesn't have all the baubles you'll find on the Hyundai, but hey, it's 5 grand cheaper. And anyway, what's a few baubles in exchange for a bit of pedigree and a 3-pointed star on the end of the bonnet? In the case of our sensible old Mercedes, well, 15 grand to buy it when it's 3 or 4 years old. In 3 years' time, it could be worth as much as 10 grand. That is a big saving already. Insurance, you might say. Group 16 for the Hyundai, Group 14 for the Mercedes E-Class. What about running costs? Well, I hate to say this, but you'll probably find, unless you go to a big main dealer, you can get your Merc sorted out cheaper than the Hyundai. It's all food for thought. When it comes to interiors, the Hyundai certainly feels much more grand with its leather and plastic wood, more of a sense of occasion. Whilst the Mercedes may not be so ostentatious, there is an air of quiet quality about it, and it will look exactly the same in 10 or 20 years' time, long after the Hyundai's given up the ghost. Of course, all of this would be completely irrelevant if the Merc was a nasty old bag of spanners. But it's not. These things will do 250,000 miles, no problem. Don't even worry about the mileage as long as it's been serviced. And to drive, well, it ain't going to set the world on fire. It's the 230, so it's hardly overpowered. But it just feels like it's been carved from one solid lump of car. It really has been built to last, and that will be in your favour. Look, we've assumed we're not in the market for a fire-breathing hot hatch here. This is not an exciting car, it's a practical prospect. And I'm not advocating you rush straight down to your prestige second-hand car shop and buy something with a pointy star instead of a new one. If you really want a new car, fine, it's your decision. But in the case of our Hyundai, their biggest competition isn't going to be from new cars. I reckon it's from cars like this. 3- and 4-year-old luxury brands.
So at just over £20,000, the Hyundai is fantastic value for money, has good performance and is extremely well equipped. But where it's going to hurt you is with that depreciation, and it's enough to have the Mercedes owners laughing all the way to the bank in a few years' time.